Sister Wives Kody Brown still mad Janelle chose dogs over him. In Sister Wives Season 19, Kody Brown has to learn to be a monogamous husband. After years of saying he didn't love his first 3 wives, he's finally facing the consequences of his actions. However, many fans think Kody isn't at all over the end of his first 3 marriages. During the new episode, he let some information slip that indicated he's still incredibly bitter. See what viewers are buzzing about online. Fans realize Kody Brown feels incredibly bitter and angry. During the COVID-19 saga, Janelle and Savannah Brown decided they were better off living in an RV on Coyote Pass. Kody said he would consider staying with them if they put their dogs outside. Janelle laughed and informed her husband that absolutely wouldn't happen. She delivered her famous "shoes the kids, shoes the dogs" lines in a confessional, which fans still routinely quote. And after all this time, it seems Kody Brown still feels angered by her decision. Kody's still bitter about Janelle's dogs and the RV, a Sister Wives viewer pointed out on Reddit after Sunday night's episode. They attached a series of screenshots from the episode where Kody takes the real estate agent on a tour of the lot. As viewers recall, the family patriarch seemed incredibly disgruntled as he showed his guest around. And he also made a point of telling the agent how Janelle chose the dogs over him. Although fans found the scene with the real estate agent a bit cringeworthy, they agreed Kody still harbors deep-seated resentment. Other Reddit users left comments including, "Kody is not over these divorces, not even close. He's still pissed she chose to sleep with the dogs over him. I love when she said I'm going to choose the dogs and going to choose the kids. Every time. Yes, Mama Janelle. Okay, good to know. Thank you." That guy was so not into Kody's annoying stories. Is Janelle Brown finally waking up? After leaving Kody, Janelle Brown said she might like to live polygamy again under the right circumstances. However, fans think she might finally be waking up after referring to fundamentalist Mormon sects as cults. Last week's new episode likely reaffirmed Janelle's choice to leave Kody Brown and polygamy behind for good. If she's still having doubts, they probably won't linger for long. The crisp Flagstaff morning was punctuated by the shrill bark of Janelle's dogs as they raced around the yard, tails wagging with unbridled joy. Janelle stood on her porch, coffee in hand, watching her furry companions chase each other in dizzying circles. The golden retriever, Max, skidded to a halt near her feet, panting heavily, while Daisy, the border collie, eagerly nudged a squeaky toy toward her. She chuckled and bent down to give them both a pat, her face glowing with contentment. Inside, however, Kody Brown was fuming. He paced the living room, his arms flailing in frustration. "I can't believe this," he muttered to himself, his voice growing louder with each step. "She's chosen them over me. Dogs. Over her husband." This wasn't a new argument between Kody and Janelle, but it was one that had simmered for months and now felt ready to boil over. Ever since their split, Kody had struggled to come to terms with Janelle's newfound independence. What stung the most, however, was how easily she filled the void he thought he'd left with her love for those dogs. As if on cue, Janelle opened the door and stepped inside, her cheeks rosy from the cool air. "Good morning," she said breezily, clearly in too good a mood for Kody's liking. "Morning," Kody snapped, spinning around to face her. "It's more like a betrayal in broad daylight." Janelle blinked at him, bemused. "What are you talking about now?" "You and those dogs," he exclaimed, pointing dramatically toward the yard. "You've replaced me with them. You've got more time, more energy, and more affection for those mutts than you've ever had for me." Janelle's jaw tightened, but she took a deep breath, refusing to rise to his bait. "Kody, they're my dogs. They bring me happiness, companionship, and loyalty. All things I've had to learn to find on my own. You know, since you've been too busy elsewhere." The unspoken accusation hung heavy in the air. Kody's cheeks flushed, his bravado faltering for a moment before he regrouped. "That's not fair," he argued. "You're the one who's pulled away. Every time I try to have a serious conversation with you, you're out walking them or playing fetch or posting pictures of them on Instagram." Janelle crossed her arms, her expression hardening. "You're upset because I found something that makes me happy and it doesn't revolve around you. You're upset because, for once, I'm not bending over backward to accommodate your endless drama." Kody's hands flew to his hips. "Drama? I'm trying to save our family, Janelle, but you're out here, with them, acting like none of it matters." "Because I've given enough, Kody." Janelle's voice rose now, her patience fraying. "For years, I put up with being an afterthought, of having to fight for scraps of your attention while you played favorites. Do you know what it's like to feel invisible in your own marriage? Kody's mouth opened, but no words came out. He hadn't expected this turn in the conversation. Janelle pressed on, her voice steadier now. These dogs don't demand anything from me except love. They don't manipulate, they don't guilt-trip, and they certainly don't expect me to compete for their affection. They just love me for who I am. Can you say the same? The question hung in the air like a thundercloud, and, for a brief moment, Kody looked as if he might actually reflect on it. But then his pride reared its head. This isn't about me. This is about you putting animals above your husband. Janelle shook her head, a bitter laugh escaping her lips. You don't get it, do you? This isn't about choosing dogs over you. It's about choosing myself. And if that means spending my time with creatures who bring me peace instead of chaos, then so be it. She turned and walked toward the kitchen, leaving Kody standing there, stunned and sputtering. This isn't over, Janelle, he called after her. You can't just replace me. From the kitchen, Janelle's voice floated back, calm and resolute. I'm not replacing you, Kody. I'm moving on. There's a difference. Kody sank onto the couch, his mind racing. For years he'd prided himself on being the glue that held his plural family together. But now, with Cristin gone, Mary distancing herself, and Janelle's dogs filling the space he'd once occupied, he was beginning to realize that the glue was cracking. Outside, Max and Daisy barked joyfully, oblivious to the drama unfolding inside. Kody glanced out the window, watching as Janelle joined them again, a ball in her hand and a wide smile on her face. For the first time in a long time, she looked truly happy. And it wasn't because of him. The thought gnawed at him, a bitter pill he wasn't ready to swallow. Kody Brown, the once mighty patriarch of the Brown family, had been upstaged by 2 dogs and the independence of a woman who no longer needed him. And he didn't know how to handle it.